طيب الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن والاه. It's difficult for me to teach you two and maybe many of the listeners this Nahu Wadih because you guys are better at Nahu than me. Right? You guys are better at Nahu than me. The Nahu that is needed by the average and general person is not very much. Some of this information is not needed by the everyday person. The stronger a person's knowledge of this is, and not just knowledge of it, but implementation of it, then the more eloquent that person will be, and the stronger a student will be able to be in the Islamic sciences, right? But there has to be a mixture, and I'm sure that's why, even though you brothers are more knowledgeable of these things than me, you attend the class in order to gain benefit of this and that. So we reached a point where we are in the third section of the Nahu Wadih of the first book, the book of the Ibtidaiyya, right? And as we explained before, there is no Mutawasita, there's only Ibtidaiyya, the elementary, and then the Thanawiyya, because at the time of the writing of these books there was no Mutawasita, there was no concept with them of the Mutawasita, right? It was Ibtidaiyya thumma Thanawiyya. So we've reached the third section of that first book, and we are in the fourth part of that book, the fourth part of that section. We're talking about the Mawadi'u Fath Hamzati Anna. Mawadi'u Fathi Hamzati Anna. And that's not clear, but that is Anna, right? And here he's going to talk about Masdar al-Sarih wa Masdar al-Mu'awwal, right? So our examples, and let's look at them. He says, Yasurruni annaka muti'un. Yasurruni, it makes me happy, right? Yasurruni from Sin, Ra, Sarra, Yasurru, meaning to make happy, right? Yasurruni, it makes me happy, annaka muti', that you are muti', you are obedient. And then if we look in the parentheses next to it, Bain al-Qawsayn, this is called a qaws, right? And two of them are qawsayn, so we say Bain al-Qawsayn, between the parentheses. Yasurruni ita'atuk, right? Ita'atuka, ita'atuka, right? How do we know that that's a dhamma on the ta? Right? How do we know that it's a dhamma on the ta, on the ta? Right? Ita'atuka. It seems like it could be a maf'ulun bihi. This is what's, no, but this is the fa'il. Ita'atuka, your obedience pleases me. Yasuruni ita'atuka, your obedience pleases me. Number two, yu'limuni annal ghubara kathiratun. Yu'limuni, as we said, from alif lam mim or hamza lam mim, meaning to cause harm or pain. Yu'limuni annal ghubara, it pains me that the ghubar, that the dust and the sand, the sand, the dust, kathira or kathirun, is a lot, right? That the sand is a lot, right? Or the dust is a lot. Yu'limuni kathratul gubar. Yu'limuni kathratul gubar. A lot of dust causes me harm. It's the same sentence. There's not much difference in the meaning here. There's not much difference at all. In fact, in general, it's the exact same meaning, right? The sentences in the parentheses are exact same meaning as the original one, in general. But there could be some differences of course, in the context, but here, for general purposes, they're the same. Here, in this first sentence, yasurruni, we have a present tense verb, right? Yasurruni annaka. We have anna, harf nasikh, and then ka here is ismu anna, and muti is khabru anna. Right? Here we have yasurruni, which again is your fi'l mudari. Right? Ita'atuka. Ita'atu is your fa'il, and kaf is mudaf ilay. Right? Your obedience. And the second one, yu'limuni, present tense verb, fi'l mudari. Anna al-ghubara is ismu anna, mansoob. Right? It's just like kaf is mabni, but fi mahal nasb. Right? Kathirun khabru anna marfu', just as muti is marfu'. Right? Yu'limuni kathratul ghubar. Kathratu is your fa'il, ghubar, right? Mudaf ilay. Right? At-tamanna. If we look at the third one, at-tamanna an al-qamara tari'un. At-tamanna is a fi'l mudari. This is I hope or I wish, right? I hope or I wish. Anna, that the qamar ismu anna mansoob tari'un. It rises, the sun, that the moon rises, right? Khabru anna marfu'. Right? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna write with the red first. These two, ita'atuka and kathratu, this is fa'il. Fa'il. My pen is not writing for some reason. Okay, now the next two, at-tamanna an al-qamara tali'un, as we said, qamara is, right, ismu anna mansoob, wa tali'un is khabru anna marfu'. And we say at-tamanna tulu al-qamari. At-tamanna, I hope for the rise of the qamar. What do I hope for? I hope for the rise. Here is the maf'ulun bihi. Right? The same thing goes for alimtu, I learned, fil madi, right? Anna al-qitara, al-qitara ismu anna mansoob, that the train, al-qitar, mutaharrak, or mutaharrikun. Mutaharrikun, meaning it's moving. Khabru anna marfu'. Right? Alimtu. Right? Taharruka al-qitar. I learned about the movement of the train. Same meaning. But here we have taharruka al-qitar. This is maf'ulun bihi, therefore mansoob. In the next sentence, we have dhunna, majhul. Dhunna here is majhul. Anna natijata hasanatun. That the natija, the result, the final grade, the final result, the end result, hasana. Natijata is ismu anna mansoob. Hasanatun khabru anna marfu'. Dhunna, again majhul, right? And we know when we have something majhul, we don't have a fa'il, we have na'ib fa'il. Right? So dhunna husnu natijati. Husnu natijati is mudaf ilay, but this is na'ib fa'il. Husnu. Husnu is na'ib fa'il. Urifa, again majhul. Anna as-sarika jari'un. Anna sarika ismu anna mansoob jari'un. Right? Jari'un, this is a hamza here. Jari'un is khabaru anna marfu, and it means to be bold. It means to be bold and insolent. Right? We know a thief, he's bold, man. He don't even care. He's insolent. Right? Urifa jara'atu as-sariq. Jara'atu, the boldness or the insolence of the thief, the sariq, is known. Here's again, jara'atu is the masdar. All of these are the masdar. Jara'atu is the masdar of jari. Husnu is the masdar of hasan. Taharruk is the masdar of mutaharrik, like this. Tulu is the masdar of tali'. Kathratu is the masdar of kathir. Ita'a is the masdar of muti'. These are the masdar in this column. Right? Masdar sarih, ita'a, kathratu, tulu', taharruka, or taharruku, al-husnu, jara'atu. All of these are masdar sarih, clear, apparent masdar. Right? And then we have here, a'taytuhu, I gave him, from a'ta, a'taytuhu, li'annahu faqir. Li, because of, anna, right? Who is ismu anna, mabni, fi mahal raf nasb, fi mahal nasb, right? Ismu anna, faqirun, khabru anna, marfu'. Then we say over here, bayna qawsayn, a'taytuhu li faqrihi. I gave him due to his poverty. Li faqrihi. Right? I gave him due to his poverty. Faqr is your masdar. Sarih. Faqr is the masdar. Li faqrihi. Here is jar, majroor wa majroor. Right? La shak, no doubt. Fi anna al-adaba wajibun. No doubt that adab ismu anna mansub wajibun khabaru anna marfu', that adab is obligatory. Having etiquettes and manners is obligatory. La shak fi wujubi al-adab. La shak, there's no doubt in, and this fi goes with this shak. He has doubt in something. There is no doubt in that the etiquettes are, manners are wajib. La shak fi wujubi. Wujub is your masdar, right? And here is jar wa majroor. La shakka. La shakka, because it's this la here is the lam of the la of negating everything, right? La shakka, no doubt, right? No, nafiyatul jins, no, nafiyatul jins, no. So la shakka. Okay, so here we have in this column to our left, we have the masdar sarih. Here, these examples that we have over on our right side, أنك مطيع وأن الغبارة كثير أنك القمر طارئ أن القطار متحرك أن النتيجة حسنة أن السارق جريء أنه فقير وأن الأدب واجب. These are called المصدر المؤول. المصدر المؤول. Right? This all just here is all explaining what we just went through in the text itself, right? Whenever we have a verb, basically the only thing he added here is whenever we have a verb, then it shows us two things. It shows us the action that's being done, and it shows us the time of that action. The action that's being done and the time of that action. So, if we have the verb shariba, then shariba shows something's being drunk, and it's also showing as being drunk in the madi. It was done in the past. Right? Yanamu shows us the verb of noam, and it shows that it is done in the current, the hal, the current, the mudari, or the istiqbal, the future. And the verb qif shows us that it is the request of an action to be done in the future, even if it's exactly right after I say it. So stand, like right now. So whenever we have these verbs, right, then we show two things. The verb shows us the action is being done, and it shows us the time of that action, right? And that's all simple for us, right? طيب. And he says here, هذا العمل الذي يدل عليه كل فعل, the action that the verb points to is called the masdar. Right? It's called the masdar. The verb or the action that the verb points to is called the masdar. So akala, he ate. Right? Akala. Because my pen. Akala. That points to aklan. Right? Aklan. It points to eating. Right? And so on and so forth. Right? Every verb has the action that it's pointing to. And if we went up again, we could see it here. That the ta'a, the masdar is ita'a, obedience. Right? And kathir, kathra. Right? A lot of. Tala'a, tulu'. Taharruka, right? Taharraka, yataharraku, taharruk. All of these are the masdar. They're talking about the action of taharraka, yataharraku, taharruk. Tala'a, yatlu, tali'u, yatali'u, tulu'. Like this. Right? So if we go down, then this is the case that it points to. So for instance, la'ib, la'iba points to la'ab or lu'b. Right? Masdar astaghfara yastaghfiru istighfar. The action, the name of the action is called the masdar. We already know that, right? ومصدر اجتمع يجتمع اجتماع وهكذا. Right? We're able to point out a masdar for every fi'l. Right? The action, what's the name of that action? It's called the masdar. So if we learn that, إذا علمت ذلك فرجعوا or فرجع إلى أمثلة السابقة, then return to the previous examples. So we just did all of that. We explained all that above. فكل مثال من الأمثلة السابقة يتضمن إذن مصدر مفهوم من خبر أنا. ولما كان هذا المصدر لم يذكر صريحا. So because this masdar in the first examples, not the ones it's in the parentheses, because it is not a masdar sarih, it's called masdar mu'awwal. Masdar mu'awwal. So again, if we go up, we have here, give me a chance to erase some of this. Right. We have here, the masdar is here, but it's not clear here. But it's because of anna, it doesn't appear, and because it doesn't appear clearly, it's called masdar al-mu'awwal. Masdar al-mu'awwal. So annaka muti', أن الغبار كثير وأن القمر طارئ أن القطار متحرك. All of these are called مصدر المؤول. مصدر المؤول. And if we contemplate the Hamza, he says here, وإذا تأملت حمزة أن في هذه الأمثلة أشبهها التي يمكن أن يوضع المصدر فيها موضع اسمه خبرها وجدتها مفتوحة دائما. That this anna is always going to be with a fatha. It's not going to be an. It's not going to be an. It's going to be anna. And a simple rule Allah knows best is because it appears before a noun, right? We say anna. Right? It's always going to have a fatha. And if it appears between two verbs or before a verb, then it's going to be an. I'm assuming Abu Sumayya or Abu Muhammad's writing something, but it hasn't appeared yet, so I don't know. In example 1 and 2 above, we could have used feminine form of the verb as well, because the doer is feminine on the right side. No problem. No problem. No. It says up here, he says that we could have used a feminine, we could have said tasurruni, right? Because ita'a is feminine and kathrata is feminine, so we could have said tu'limuni. We could have said tu'limuni, right? Because of kathratu. No problem. No. As for, yeah, no problem. Okay, so the qaida that we want to learn from this is al-qawaid, 3 of them. Tuftahu hamzatu anna, that the hamza of anna is maftuh, right? إذا حلت هي واسمها وخبرها ومحل المصدر. That here, that anna is maftuh, the hamza, and anna is not inna, but anna, right? If it's in the place of, or if it's in the position of being the, that has ismuha wa khabruha are apparent there in the, as in place of the masdar. And it's going to be anna, not inna. Al-masdar المكون المكون من أن مكون من أن واسمها وخبرها يسمى بالمصدر المؤول. That we said, right, that the masdar, when it's not sarih, when it is written out, when it has anna plus ism plus khabruha, this is called ismu, or it's called masdar al-mu'awwal, right? And the third rule that we learned here, and I got an example from Sheikh Abdul Rahim, which he talked about it, I'm going to bring up in a minute. But he says the 109th rule that we're learning here, يكون المصدر المؤول فاعلا ومفعول به ونائب فاعل ومجرورا بحرف جار. So this masdar al-mu'awwal, if we were to go back up, that it could be the fa'il, the maf'ulun bihi, the na'ib fa'il, or the harf jar, right? Or a majrur. Not harf jar, but majrur. So now, we have yasurruni, right? This is, it makes me happy. It's a fi'l mudari' marfu', right? Annaka muti'un, this is your fa'il. Now we can break it down. We say anna harfun nasikh, you know, like this, wa nasb wa kaf damir muttasil, right? Mabni ala fatha fi mahal al-nasb, ismu anna muti'un khabru anna marfu' wa alamatu raf'i dhamma. Then this as a whole is في محل رفع فاعل. في محل رفع فاعل. In a position of being مرفوع because it's the fa'il. Same thing with أن الغبار. We can break it down. Say أن حرف نصب والناصب والغبار اسم أن منصوب كثير خبر أن مرفوع. We can say وعلامة نصبه الفتح وعلامة رفعه الضمة. We can do that. And then we can say في محل الرفع فاعل. Same thing here. We can say أن القمر طالع. We can go through and say أن حرف الناصب والنصب والخمر اسم أن منصوب وعلامة نصبه الفتحة وطالع خبر أن مرفوع وعلامة رفعه ضمة. في محل نصب مفعول به. Right? في محل we can say مصدر مؤول في محل النصب like this. Right? أن النتيجة حسنة. أن النتيجة أن اسم أن حرف النسخ والنصب والنتيجة اسم أن منصوب علامة نصبه الفتحة حسنة خبر أن وعلامة رفعه ضمة. Right? في محل مصدر المؤول في محل رفع نائب فاعل. في مصدر مؤول في محل الرفع نائب فاعل. And then same thing here. لأنه فقير. Right? أنه لي حرف جار. أنه right حرف النصب والناسخ. وهو ضمير متصل مبني على سكون في محل النصب اسم أن فقير خبر أن مرفوع وعلامة رفعه الضمة. Right? في محل في محل اسم مجرور لأنه مصدر مؤول في محل جر لأنه مجرور like this for لي. Right? So all of that is like this. This مصدر مؤول and it has its position. If we look over here, يسرني إطاعتك. إطاعة is your file. It's clear. Right? It's a masdar, but it's clear. That's your file. Right? It's your file. So that's easy. Same thing with this is your atamanna. What do I hope for? Right? I hope for. It's a masdar. That's its type of word that it is. But here in the position of the sentence, it's just your maf'ulun bihi. Here, husnu is your masdar. It's the type of word. But here it is the na'ib file. And faqr is a masdar. That's just the type of noun that it is. But here it is jar or majroor because of it is ismu majroor because of the jar, harf jar in front of it. Now Sheikh Fa Abdur Rahim, he brings us an example here. Right? He says, Balagani, right? أنك ناجح. أنك ناجح. Right? بلغني. It has reached me that you are successful. That you passed basically. You're successful. Right? Meaning, بلغني نجاحك. بلغني نجاحك. Right? Your najah has reached me. I was informed of, or it has reached me. Or it could be balagani kaunuka. Right? Kaunuka najihan. Of your being successful. Right? And anaka najih, anaka najih, as we can see by looking here at this example, the second substitute sentence, that is your fa'il fi mahal raf. This in this box is the fa'il fi mahal raf. Right? In the position of being marfu'. Then you have another sentence. Says balaga araftu, with the same sentence. Araftu annaka najihun. Right? Araftu annaka najihun. He says balagani, or no, he says araftu najahaka. Araftu najahaka. And here we put a fatha on the ha, not the jeen but the ha. Right up here it was a dhamma because it's the fa'il. Right here, what did I know? Araftu najahaka. Here it is the maf'ulun bihi. So annaka najihun, this masdar mu'awwal fi mahal maf'ulun bihi fi mahal al-nasb. Right? Maf'ulun bihi fi mahal nasb. It's the same sentence, but because of its position in the sentence, and you could say the same thing, araftu kaunaka najihan. Right? Then you could do one more. We go back down. Ana masrurun bi annaka najihun. It's the same thing. I am pleased, ana masrurun. I am pleased bi annaka najihun. Yasuruni, right? Annaka najihun. Same thing. Ana masrurun bi annaka najihun. I am pleased with the fact that you are, right? Najih. Same word, same sentence, but it says ana masrurun bi najihaki bi no, I spelled it wrong. That's wrong. Right. That's the problem. B najahika. B najahika. Right? Here we see it being majroor, whereas up here it was mansub, and above that it was marfu'. So this is, right? This is jar or majroor bil ba. It's majroor bil ba, or fi mahal, like this. Fi mahal jar, or fi mahal jar bil ba. That's better. Fi mahal jar bil ba. The same sentence. Up above it was fi fa'il fi mahal raf. And the second example was maf'ulun bi fi mahal nasb. Here it's fi mahal jar bil ba. Just due to where it's at. It's called masdar al mu'awwal. And you guys know better than that, better about this than me. So I doubt you have any questions, but if you have any comments or something, then now is the time, inshallah. And you could also say, as he said, ana masrurun bi kaunika be Nika, right? Whereas up here was Naka, and above that it was Nuka, right? Najihan. Right? And Najih here is the, in all of these cases, it's mansub because it is khabru kana, right? Mansub. And the kaf here would be ismu kana in all the places. Mabni ala fatha fi mahal al-raf, ismu kana. Any questions about that? Now, of course, it would be majroor because it is mudaf ilayh. Of course. Yes, correct. Jazakallah khairan. Jazakallah khairan. Fi mahal al-jar, not fi. It's majroor. It's majroor because it is. I said marfu. Majroor because it is mudaf ilayh. Jazakallah khairan. I said you guys know better than me. Faddal. Tatalamazza. Tatalammaz. Is it a zay or a thal? What sent? Give us a context. A lot of times I get questions about what is the meaning of a word like this, and it's so hard to give a meaning of a word without a context, you know. Especially certain, you know, many words need a context. It's a zay? Okay.
Well, that is this from the one Lumaza that we talked about yesterday in the Quran.
I don't know, so I'm trying to.
Isn't it from that the same Lamaza that carrying tails, speaking ill?
You have to move your mic, your mouth away from the mic, Ak. It's very distorted, like you're.
Is it better now?
Yeah.
I'm saying, is it not from that same Lumaza to Lumaza, that carrying of tails, speaking ill?
I don't know, so I'm trying to see his context. تتلمذ على الكتب.
Criticize.
Yeah, I know, but I even Even then, I don't understand it though. But I definitely understand criticize. I just don't understand why. Now I don't understand the phrase. Now, or the meaning. What does he mean? La yajuz talammuz. That, like we said, a lamaz has to do with to criticize something or to find fault in it. But why? But why is it here? It'll take me a minute to pull out my shot of Thalathatul Usul by Fawzan. What page is it on, or what section is it in? Inshallah ta'ala tomorrow. Okay, you can share it with me, that's fine. Or I'll pull mine out too. And then inshallah ta'ala, I'll send you an answer back on Messenger or answer it here tomorrow as well. Because that's the confusing. But it comes from lemaza, meaning like humaza to lumaza, like this. But what is the meaning here? Allahu Alam. It's not permissible to find faults in books. Allahu Alam. You can't share it here. It's not possible. طيب إن شاء الله. طيب جزاكم الله خيرا. Tomorrow we'll meet with Quran and Hadith and Tuhfatul Akhyar Sheikh bin Baz بإذن الله تعالى. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام.